Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of AI in Focus. My name is Lewis. My normal co-host Chad is out this week, and instead we are joined by fellow team lead Sarah Lima.
Hey, happy to be here. Always happy to work with you, Luis.
So glad, Sarah, you could join us today. We are going to be working on some exciting new features today. But first, let's do a quick summary of sort of where we are and what we're doing. So here on AI in Focus, we have been working on our ReadySetGo application. It is an LLM powered app builder based on Thoughtbot's best practices for design, testing, and development. So we've been working towards the goal of generating a Rails app within this Rails app, but we're going to be doing a little pivot, and I think Chad has talked about it on the stream a couple of weeks back. So right now, you might recall that when you go into a project and you say, I want to build a new app, you get a name and a description, and you could type forever in here. And once you've done that, you also get like a prompt to say, here's what I want to build. But ultimately, where we want to go is much more information for the LLM agents to know what to build. What's your vision for what you want? And that's not going to happen in a text box very easily. So we have so Kevin Kwan has developed a skill to walk people through a design sprint. And as the first part of implementing that, we're going to need to make some changes. We're going to need to make some changes here to our app. So instead of jumping right into app building, we instead start off with exploring an idea where you say, this is what I'm thinking about. And then the agent starts working with you through a series of planned questions and decision points to help guide you to really help refine an idea from that first vision to something that then makes sense to build. But before we go into that, we'll do a quick summary of where we got to code-wise since last week. So let me share a screen here. So, okay, since last week, so this is what we were working on last week. We got that merged, upgrading Ruby LLM to 1.15. We added an auto scroll feature so that the chat would automatically scroll to the current part of the agent instead of having to scroll manually. We have all our Dependabot updates, and then a security issue that I discovered that we had where basically because the tool accepted a parameter, you could tell it what parameter to use. So we've taken out that part where the agent tells the tool what app ID to operate under, and the app just knows I'm working on this chat. I'm sorry, the tool knows I'm working on this chat, therefore this app, therefore I'm going to operate in that area. So exciting stuff. We have a few more things in flight, but mostly we have a clean PR list. So I think we're ready to go forward. Before we do, Sarah, did you have any questions about sort of like where we're going to go? Anything from the viewers?
No, I think we can move on and a bit of information to our users, to our listeners. That's my first time working with ReadySetGo, so yeah, I'm sure I'm gonna have a lot of questions going forward. But
Okay.
yeah, good for now.
Yeah, for sure. And please, feel free to jump in with any questions. Any question you have, there will be 100 viewers that have the same question. So yeah, it's all good to cover things. So I think, so where I first started on, or where I was first thinking about when I was thinking about how are we going to implement this is we're going to need feature flags. I've used Flipper before. It's a really nice gem. It's very easy to use. So I figured we'd just go in and implement that. It's also a nice thing to walk through for no matter what application you're building. So let's just jump right in. Does that sound good?
Yep, this is it.
Awesome. All right, so we are on a new branch, add Flipper. We're up to main. Before I do anything, we'll just do a quick check. Make sure we have a green suite. I mean, we should from CI, but I still just like to be sure. And after that, we'll check our linting. Cool. Awesome. All right.
Nice.
We're fully clean. So let's jump in, close all the things, go to our gem file, and let's see what it says. So gem flipper. Cool. I want to double check on the adapter. Cool. All right. We'll just add both of these. So that and okay. And I like to grab like something from the gems readme and the source, so that later if someone's looking at the gem file, they're like, where did that come from? And then we'll also add the active record one. Oh, sorry, I forgot I pasted that already. And this is the storage adapter.
Nice.
Bring that in. And we will run bundle. Okay. And go ahead and commit that. And let's just take a quick look to make sure we didn't do anything silly. Yep. All right. So the only changes, we're adding those two. And then if we look at our gemfile.log, nothing suspicious in there. Good. So now we have. What's that?
Git client. Which app was that?
This is Git Tower. This is Git Tower, and I love it to pieces. It makes it so easy to do all kinds of Git commands. The big things I love are like reordering commits, squashing commits, editing them, going back into one and easily seeing like what was part of that commit. It is really a huge time saver.
Interesting.
All right, so now, cool. I think we're just like, it works now. So we can test this. Let's break out of the server and go into the Rails console. So if we do, you can ask it like anything. Like it is like truly arbitrary. So we could just say Flipper enabled, I don't know, test, and okay, it didn't like it.
Nope.
Relation. Oh, do we have to run a migration?
Yeah, jumps all Flipper a little bit up to the top. No.
I wonder if it's the.
No. Yeah, sure.
Let's look at that storage adapter. Don't see new adapter, swapping adapter. I am really surprised. Always fun to do this on stream. Like there wasn't an install to run.
No, yeah.
All features are enabled.
I didn't see the top of the stack trace. Can I take a look at that?
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's the error message. Undefined relation.
Give me ones. Actually, you know what? Let's bring our friend Claude in. And I started. So we're working on a new branch and working on installing Flipper. Like, I don't think, right? Like we haven't had any. Let's see what it says here. Oh, and I should probably point it at. And I'm pretty sure it's the adapter here that's causing the issue. Let's just see. Oh, okay. Here. Nope, that's just that. Usage. Ah, that's what I wanted.
Yeah, that's
I'm
missing
like,
the README, I
there we
think.
go.
Yeah, I was pretty sure that was something like installation missing.
There we go. And there's the migration.
Nice.
Fantastic. Okay. And let's take a look at that before we run it. And just for future reference. Okay, cool. So we have an initializer. I was like, I remember doing this. It's been so long since I've installed Flipper. I'm like,
Me
I remember
too.
doing this,
Me
but
too.
okay, cool. And here it creates the, there we go. This makes way more sense. All right, so we're going to, and now, there we go. And it is not enabled.
Nice.
So because we haven't defined it. And so we could do that, like to just see, like, I don't know, if we create one and sure, we can call it test.
Enable instead of enable.
Thank you. Cool. And now if we check Flipper enabled test with a question mark, we get true. So this is pretty cool. Like, and we can just do that same question within our code to move things around. I want to do one more. I want to do one more thing, which if you'll give me a second, let me break out of here. I don't remember if I put this in my IRBRC. Let's try that again. I thought I had one. I know I have. There's a little helper that I wanted to add.
What are you looking for?
Oh, it's a little. It was like a little a tiny method to basically like show all the flags that are enabled. Like you can, if you're in it, like you can go, right? Like you can do. Let's say what are the. Actually, let's run it again. So if we do Flipper enabled test, cool. So if we look at Flipper, oh boy. I'm trying to remember the module that's like lists all the tables.
Is it features?
Thank you. Yeah.
No, it's like Flipper doc features. From what I'm looking at the documentation.
Flipper feature resolves to a thing. Oh wait, hang on. Nope, wasn't that one. Yeah, let's take a look at that. Or I could find the little script I have. Give me 1 second. Let me take this off screen for a moment. Just because I have to pull up client code for this one. Because like I know where it is. And that will help us speed along. Okay.
Oh, found it?
Yes. Okay. So the code I wanted is. Oh, I'm sorry. I misunderstood. I was thinking Flipper : features, and you were meaning Flipper dot features. So I'm sorry.
Yeah. That's okay.
So this is the method I was looking for that I had like, I know I had this. So basically this is like a nice little helper to see like, what are all your features? Because otherwise they just kind of get defined and it's hard to know what they are, right? So if we added another one, so if we do like Flipper enable, I don't know, hello. And now we look at it, we can see they're both on. If we disable hello, and we look at that, we see hello is off and test is on. Sweet. So we have that little helper available now just to quickly check all our features. And let's move on now to the app. So where we are, actually, let's make sure, is there anything else? Oh, we should commit that. And just to see what we did, we have today's date and we created the features and the gates tables, and that all looks great. So I think functionally, I don't know, I might want to add that helper to like the .irbc for this project. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. IRBRC is what I meant. Cool, so we don't have anything, and now I will look at mine. Do I have... I don't think I have a flipper thing in here. But let's do this. We'll just grab an example.
And for those who are not familiar with that file, would you like to explain a little bit?
Yeah, go for it.
No, I'm asking you.
Oh,
what do you usually use it for?
So this is like a little, it is, whenever you're in the Rails console, it defines extra custom commands that you can use just to make your life easier. I'm sure there's many, many more uses of a good IRBRC file. But in this case, if we, I don't know, what do we want to call this? Like, we'll just call it features. We can think about the name later. And what we want in here is that. And what does it want here? Sure. No, I don't want to do that. What did I have in mind? I think mine just wasn't being linted. For now, we'll come back to the... Here, let's also fix these. Actually, for the moment, I am going to exclude this file altogether. Mostly because I don't want to deal with it on stream. Okay, cool. So now what we can do with this defined is, instead of having to remember that command, we can just type our... It was features, wasn't it?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. It did not pick it up, and I am again surprised.
So,
right, like
it's not finding Flipper. Flipper is not available.
So, like, here's an example. Sorry, looking at like my current one, like I just have methods here, right? Like if I'm in here and I just type, all tables, like it gives me an output of it essentially, it is running this command so that I don't have to remember it. So I'm wondering, if it doesn't know about it locally. Maybe that's it. Let's do a quick check. Right?
So I think the file itself is being read. The problem is the Flipper is not available at that context.
Oh, I see. So we need to do a require here. Is that what you're thinking?
Oh, maybe we can try that.
There we go. Awesome.
That worked.
Okay, cool. So let's add that too. And
but that shouldn't be necessary, right? To require everything that you're using in that file. It's been a long time I've used that kind of file, so I don't remember right now. Anyway.
I don't either. I mean, there might be a way to have it in the load path, but I'm not sure. But for right now, since this is just more like help me remember this while we go, like I think before we like merge this PR, we'll we'll definitely come back to, do we need to do
Sure,
that?
clean it up. Mhm.
Okay, cool. So normally, oh, I was going to do that. So here's an example. I just want to go in, edit the commit message. And then we save. Awesome. So normally at this point, like I would just push this up as its own PR, and that would be it. I don't want to like add the other stuff to it. So what I'm going to do is sort of help ourselves out for later. So we'll push this up later, open a PR and all. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna create a new branch from Add Flipper, and we're gonna call this one, I don't know, this is gonna be Add Sprint Agent.
So you're using PRs. Have you considered using more of a chunk-based approach? If that's just like a few people only collaborating to the project, just committing straight to main?
Did you say just committing straight to main?
Well, yeah.
I would say we have not. We have many strong opinions, and like I feel like the PR process has been like really solid, and I mean, to me, it leads to a lot of improvements versus stuff just like, you know, being thrown in there.
I think maybe for this kind of changes, like Flipper, some things are very well defined. Do you think you would would you wait for review though of a PR, or would you like just merge it? Since like you're also striving for some speedy, just getting things done.
I would still wait for I would wait for approval unless it's like in the case of, I don't know, let's say we just absolutely needed it before the stream. Like in that case, I would open the PR and I would say, hey everyone, I'm sorry, I'm auto merging this one because like we absolutely have to have this in before the presentation. But otherwise, like if we're just going week to week, then I don't think so. And I found that, like, first of all, I don't want to create a situation where there's so many PRs that, let's say, got merged. Like, because you could say like, well, if it got merged and someone found something later, we could just open another PR to fix it or change it. And I guess that works when it's a small team. But like we're talking about a lot of people now potentially jumping on, you know, and helping out with ReadySetGo across Thoughtbot. And so like, I wouldn't want that to be the standard where we're just like, someone thinks this is a simple enough merge, like, or this is a simple enough change, I don't need approval, let's merge it, and then have to keep track and then have to like start being like, wait, this wasn't right, now I want to do this differently. Like we can't even have conversations at that point about, did you consider this or the other thing? So even for something like this, again, like unless it's like really an emergency, like we have to get it in, I would open it up and say like, hey, let's talk about it. Maybe someone's like, I don't think we should use Flipper at all. Like maybe they'll be like, there's this other, you know, another gem or another service that I want to use, or maybe we roll our own, or I want to have that kind of conversation with the entire team. So even though like I think this is, you know, innocent, if you will, or simple, or like easy enough, I still want to get the team's feedback on it.
Absolutely, yeah.
You know, and you know, even things like this, like me adding like a project specific IRBRC, maybe someone's like, hey, this is gonna blow away, you know, other things, or I don't think this should be part of ReadySetGo, like put it in your own IRBRC, but like leave this one out. So I want to get all that feedback.
Nice, yeah.
Cool. All right, so though, to facilitate working with that as if we have it, I've branched off of it, and then what I'm going to do is squash all the commits. And then I'm going to edit that commit message because I don't really need all that. And what this is going to be visually helps me see it later. What will happen then is when I rebase this branch on main, when this is merged, assuming it didn't like deviate too much, this will either become an empty commit that we can skip, or we'll just have to do like a little rebasing through this one commit instead of, let's say, all the commits. And then we can keep going. So now this is us pretending that Flipper has been merged. Okay, now the scarier part. We're gonna close this and this. The scary part here is like, okay, so where do we go? So I think conceptually, we want to come to let me talk about the sort of the big picture of where I think we're going. And then we can talk about how to like TDD our way to that.
Mm-hmm.
So right now you log in and and you come to here.
Oops.
Let's try that again. You log in and you come to here. And we do not want to come to here. I think for now, like we just want to come to basically like, I think we want to come to like /sprints. I don't know, whatever we want to call that route. An empty page for now. And then like what it will list is the various sprints you've run through. So it's going to be like a standard index page with like the sprint's name, maybe a description. The eventual goal for like not today, but where we want to get to is, so you'd go into a sprint, create one if it's not there. You'd go through that whole sprint process where you're talking with an agent for a while. You're generating artifacts, text files, etc., that describe like the full picture of what you're building. And then from there, what I would imagine it would be like a generate app button. And then you would choose like of all your organizations, teams, and projects, like where does this one belong? And then from there, we would be at this spot where the description might even be summarized like as part of our sprint. This might like get auto-filled from the sprint.
Mm-hmm.
This might be too, and you might choose to change it. But so we're like inserting ourselves into this process where now we're like new app, go. We're doing the ready set part. So with that in mind, let's TDD this. Where, and I know you're like, you haven't really been in the code base a lot, so but functionally, like where would you start with, like where would you start with that?
Okay, so first, just like coming up with the concept itself, do we want to call our page or our resources sprints, design sprints, or something else entirely?
Yeah, the naming part is hardest. I like sprints because it's short. I like product sprints because it's clearer. Discovery sprints because it's more inspirational and it describes what we're doing. Like we're discovering things about our idea.
Yeah, I think I like discovery sprints best, but sprints.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go with discovery sprints maybe. I would say.
So, do you want to then TDD this at like just start off like the discovery sprints controller like loads, and then
let's do that.
Okay, and I'm gonna go like a cloud coding approach with this, as I tend to do with most things. So I'm not gonna do like pure TDD, but we're gonna start with at least failing tests. We have a really rich test suite right now that Cloud can model off of. So what I'm thinking the plan is, let's write our failing controller tests that will lead us to then creating a route and at least an empty controller and start getting our tests green. So let's do that. We're going to interrupt that. All good. Now working on a new idea. Discovery sprints. Modeling, I don't know. I think our closest, like if we look at our controllers that we have so far, I think the apps controller is probably closest because that like lists all the apps for a project. Data wise, we talked about this a little bit in our like ReadySetGo like planning meeting this morning, like our sync this morning, where the idea we came to is this might evolve, but in general, a sprint there'll be a one-to-one between a sprint and an app. So I think an app will have a sprint versus a sprint having an app, but I'm really not sure. How would you think about that modeling?
I'm leaning towards an app has a sprint. From
an app has a sprint.
Your explanation, yeah.
Okay. So an app will have one, and I guess we'll call it Discovery Sprint.
Yeah.
Discovery Sprint, but let's not model that out. Whoops, model that out yet. So if let's looking at what our app, if our apps has many chats, then I think maybe the apps controller is probably the best thing. Let's not drive that out yet. Let's model the tests on app controller tests, but modified with the as one described above. Anyway, let's see what it generates. It's a starting point. For me, like I always like to see where it gets to, and then we work with it until we get to a pretty place. So if we look at, while it's doing that, let's close everything else. Take a look at our current tests for apps controller. So we have authentication checks. We have denying access. It might be doing 2 more, rendering the form, rendering a form for creating a new app. Yeah, and actually, let me back that up. Oh, this is nice. I haven't seen this UI yet. Which actions should it cover? New and create, show, destroy. Let's just start with, let's just do the index. And then attribute name. What's a minimal attribute? Okay, cool. I think we don't need any if we're just doing index. I don't know.
I would say a name, no?
What's that?
Just a name, an attribute name.
Yeah, okay. That's cool. So if we're looking at, so this is apps new. That is apps show. Oh, I might have told it. Oh, I might have given it a bad model. Actually, yeah, because the apps, hang on. Yeah, I think the projects controller is the one I want it to model off of, because that's the one that lists other things in an apps. Like the apps controller is doing
just a simple list.
Yeah, like this is, sorry, we have the it's right. So it's like the projects controller that's listing the app. So I'm gonna I should have said projects controller as the model. That's the example for this, since it has an index. Okay. Let's try again. Oh, so these are the root tests, since that's where we get to. This actually might be an interesting spot. I think this will eventually change when we have our feature flag. So I'm actually just going to make a little note here while I see it. Okay, where does it live in the URL hierarchy? Oh, this is fun. Projects. It does not live there. Does it?
Perhaps at the top level?
Yeah, I think so. I agree with you, yeah. And we might change our mind later, but I think, right, like we don't have a concept yet necessarily of a project, and I think just while we're working on it, let's put it there, and we'll see. Okay, so I was gonna say, just make a little note. And we'll just call this for our feature flag. So this here, we're gonna wanna change it based on where we go to once we have where we start to define feature flags. And it is going along, and we'll quickly see, do we have changes so far? Is that just me? Okay. So looking at what it has for projects and sort of like, this is the thing that I like to do when I'm cloud coding is like, while it's working, thinking ahead to what it might be doing and kind of what I'm expecting. So yes, we want to redirect to sign in. Yes, an empty state when there are no sprints. This is projects group by team. I think that's going to change to be more like just lists all discovery sprints. Well, this is interesting now, like thinking about the other orgs. And do we see that? I think I think we're gonna have to consider that more closely. Right? Because like the general sharing structure here is like you have an organization. So just to look at like our current structure here, and there's not a way to like select this yet in our UI, but in terms of the data modeling, you have an organization. And so in this case, let's say the organization is Thoughtbot. So within Thoughtbot, we have, and I think the way our UI is, it's a little misleading, but this is like projects across all teams. Or I'm sorry, projects throughout the organization. And then these are teams. So this is like an internal structure, our Americas team, our corporate team, our Fusion team. And so then within that team, there are projects. And so this might be a particular client project. And so and then within that project, then we have like the apps that are part of that project. So going back to here, the question is like, when we're looking at sprints, I'm almost feeling like we actually need the same kind of structure where it's like, I should be able to see any sprint in my organization because I want to be able to collaborate on it. And the general idea there is like, I don't know, one, let's just say you're curious and you're like, oh, I'm interested in this design sprint happening over here, let's say in corporate, like, I just want to look at it. I don't want to be like, hey, so-and-so, can you add me to that? And then for like everything you might want to see within your org to ask for permission for it. So as I'm talking it out, I'm thinking like we might end up with a similar view as this. So even better that we're modeling this, but maybe we'll improve some of the text here.
Yeah, I'm thinking also like what's the relationship between a project and a sprint?
Yeah, I think it would be more like, I think there wouldn't be, so like if this is sprints, then Americas would just have like sprint 1, sprint 2, sprint 3 with their own names. Like they wouldn't be necessarily grouped to a project. Although I could see, because again, like we want to use this internally, but we also want someone from the outside. Like one of the main goals is that you can just sign up for ReadySetGo and go through a discovery sprint. So you're not going to have, you'll have like your personal organization, kind of like you do with like GitHub and Heroku and that kind of thing. But you're not going to have a team. You just have the my team. And so you would see all your things together. And so maybe that's it. It would just be like, what you would see is my team. And then it would list that, actually, so while we're there, let me do that. Let me just see, like, I'm going to sign up as I don't think I've done this yet in this database, but I might have already. Cool. So this is a better view and maybe like the more, like a little bit of a simpler view for someone just coming in. So behind the scenes, there is, if we looked at this user, I have my organization that's hidden. I have a my team, and these are all the projects that are on my team. So here, then, this will be like sprints, and it'll list all the sprints I've gone through. And then we can work out the deeper, like, get me everything from everywhere later. But I think just for visualizing what we're working on, I think this is going to be the helpful view. All right, let's see what tests it added. Okay, redirects to sign in when not authenticated. Sure. Shows the empty state. That looks good. Lists for apps the user can access. So we create an app, and then it's creating a discovery sprint based on the app, and then we're creating a user with the teams from the app, and then we do the get, and then it's basically saying, oh, this is interesting. Oh, I see, right. So it's expected to include the sprint, but not to include the no sprints. I'm noting in my head, like, we don't have the zero state test yet, but hopefully it's there. Doesn't show discovery sprints from other orgs. This makes sense. And then this is the case. It lists sprints for teams you're directly a member of for the teams, even when the user is not in the team's organization. So the example would be like here, like if you have a team, you can invite
Your
someone from the
guest.
outside to join that team. I'm struggling in my mind to decide, like, do we want to have this right now? It's tricky because, like, we've built this architecture from the beginning, so it's like a little extra mental load to carry on. I'm gonna hold this for a second. So also it went and created like all the things. So I'm actually gonna tell it, I don't want this yet. So I'm literally going to discard all of this. So at the end of here, sorry. Sometimes I'll stash this kind of thing, but right now I just want to stick to what we have. So we can also discard all this. Because to me, like, part of this is like thinking out, it's a little bit thinking out the feature. And so, sure, I want all the tests. I don't want to do each one like the purest level of TDD, but I also don't want to just be like, here's all the tests, now make it work. Okay, so with this in mind, I'm going to give it some more feedback. I'm going to be like, I deleted all the other actions, the other action tests. We're only working on index now. And then I think for now I'm just gonna leave this. I'm not fully happy with it, but just to like keep us going, like forward progress and all. This does mirror, like if we look at it mirrors this test. So it's a similar setup. I don't like some of this, like there's a lot of extra stuff happening here. But let's get this passing and then we'll refine. We'll refine these down. So let's just say so. Initial and then here I'm just gonna mark just that it's not hanging out uncommitted the whole time. And I'm also just gonna drag, there's an example, I just want to drag it back one in the commit history. So if we end up amending this commit, it'll be a lot easier. All right, so so let's just also see, like, let's do a quick run. So we have our discovery sprints controller spec. And let's just see how this file runs. What do we have? Imagine everything would fail. Oh, what did it say? Cool, right. Doesn't even know line what the controller is. Okay. Let's add an empty controller in the route. Jumping a little bit ahead, but so this is now going to become that. It's going to include the tests, and let's see what we get. Cool. I'm happy with that. And then it is a top level. It is sorted correctly. I think that's fine. Awesome. So now I would expect one test to pass. just the first one. Sweet. Okay, so I'm going to amend our commit, and now we have a passing test. So like the next one then would be, okay, and this makes sense. Like, let's do that empty state. Oh, and I'm so sorry earlier. I think I just skimmed right past it, and I was like, let's make sure we have that test. We do. Cool. So what I'm expecting to see here is we're going to need a view. It's going to have that no discovery sprints and minimal CSS, minimal styling going on in it, and we can also take a look at it like live and see it there. Cool. Exactly. So this is the discovery sprints index view. I'm happy with that. And now we should have a passing test here. And we do. And if we go to, sweet, looks fine. All right, next one. And here I want to do a quick check over here. So do we truly do the same thing? So we have the redirect and the empty state, list projects grouped by team. It essentially skipped that. Does not show projects from other organizations. Does not show discovery sprints. Yeah, okay. Yeah, let's do the discovery sprints the user can access.
Oh, okay.
And actually, I wanted to introduce another one. Let's add a test here. I can't tell if it, there we go, it's showing the 2 lines. Add a test here. I don't know, it might be temporary, but that it lists all sprints defined. And I think that's going to drive us towards like the model and the names and all that. So it'll help us drive the feature a little bit, and then maybe we remove it later.
Nice, sounds good.
All right, so this next commit is going to be, I don't know. Cool. So it lists all sprints. We create a sprint with a name. We create a user. We get the discovery sprints as the user, and then we expect it to include. That feels nice. That's going to at least drive a little bit of the page behavior. And we might at some point, like really soon, I think actually be able to like start introducing the feature flags tests once we've got it's like showing things. So so I think, I don't know. So I think next is like, let's do our model tests for it, because we're going to need that to even be able to, like, if we run this now, it should be like, I don't have a factory for that. And defining the factory isn't going to help because it doesn't have a model.
Nice. We have a red. Can you move on?
Yep.
Nice.
Factory not registered. So let's move on to a simple model test and a factory. Okay. So I'm not going to amend that. I just want this text. So we're getting our migration, and we'll just think through. We have a name. It cannot be null. This makes sense. It references an app. Sure, this seems fine. And then we have discovery sprint that belongs to an app, validates name, presence true. Sure, we'll let it run DB migrate. I'm on the fence about whether I want to have the validation in yet. I actually think I don't. Let's see what it created for its spec. So it is expected to belong to app. It is expected to validate presence of name. So I think at minimum what we can do is we can test this first by just commenting it out and then like comment the whole thing. We have a discovery sprint. It is not sorted correctly. So while it's doing that, let's grab our discovery sprint spec. And first of all, let's just see, as a curiosity, if we run it. Sorry, wrong keyboard shortcut. Okay, so it's passing, but let's get it to fail some things. Let's get it to fail both its things. So it expected to validate presence of name, and it does not. And it expected to belong to an app, and it does not. Awesome. Nice. Meanwhile, it has added a factory with sequence name and then an association. I'm just going to go ahead right now. I think this is fine. Sorry, I was going to change something, but I realized we haven't actually set the pattern for the thing I want to do. No, actually, it's okay. We can do cleanup later, but I like to have the associations at the top and then the fields after that. So cool. It's using a sequence. This is all good. I'm going to stage that one. And now let's take a look. So we have our failing tests. Again, we'll just, oops, sorry, run that again. We have 2 failures. And let's just enable each line and see that it passes. So if we do belongs to app, we've resolved the validator, and we'll uncomment this one, and now we should have green again, and that seems good. All right, so belongs to app, validates name. We have our model, we have our schema change. This looks fine. Good. And so we'll add our tests. All right, let's add then so if we look at our current app spec, I'm expecting it to add a line here. If we run this right now with the right keyboard shortcut, we get our 1 failure. This is going to be add, I don't know, app discovery sprint relationship. And we'll go ahead and tell it to fix it. And we would expect to see a new line here, a has one line somewhere around here. Sweet. And what does it not like? There we go. Dependent destroy. So let's think about this. If we have an app, we're going to destroy the discovery sprint as well. This is one that I like.
I don't think so.
What's
Maybe
that?
want to keep the sprint.
Oh, that's actually interesting. Yeah. So if you're like, so I guess the thought would be, we go through a sprint, we build an app, and we're like, this is terrible. I just want to start over. We definitely don't want to lose then. Of what you're saying is like, we don't want to lose the sprint
after deleting an app. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we could restrict, which would then mean like you can't destroy the app, and then you'd be kind of stuck. So that doesn't help. What are our other options there? So if we put this out for a second and run the linter, it is going to tell us that, well, specify dependent option. Do you offhand remember the dependent options? If not,
nullify. Yes.
let's try that.
Yeah.
Actually, so let's look at our test, and let's just have it. Let's just update that. So if on our app spec, nullify, if we run that,
That is an option.
nice, should have nullify dependency.
Yeah.
And so now, and we could have told Chad for this. I'm sorry, chat, Claude. Okay, let's do that. And let's also talk about that in our commit here. So we're going to use dependent nullify so that I don't know, a user can delete an app that has gone terribly wrong without losing all their Sprint work. I guess it's really so
yeah, that's it.
That's really it. Yeah, I was thinking there were like 2 reasons for it, but this is pretty much it. Like, I don't know. So restrict would make it impossible to delete the app in this case, and destroy would wipe out the Sprint. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So dependent nullify and dependent nullify, we're all good there. So that's good. So we've added on now our relationship, and I think then the next thing I would ask it to do is, like, has one is one of those notorious things where Steve Polito has posted about this, like your has one doesn't it's not exactly enforced unless you enforce it at the database level. So I'm going to actually tell Claude here, write a test, a failing test that you can't associate, or actually, wait, let me think about this. Yeah. Right. So we said our app has one discovery sprint, so you can't associate multiple sprints with an app. And let's see. So this commit is going to be about enforce one-to-one relationship between each time I type discovery sprint. I'm happy we made this decision.
Yeah.
It just makes me happy to see the words. Like, even though it's longer to type, I really like it. Cool. So let's see. Awesome. And probably that's right. So let's see that. I'm just going to run the whole suite really fast to see that we haven't broken anything else. But, oh, that's all kinds of things. What just broke?
Access model.
This is a significant, hang on. Part of me is wondering that we have like a stray thing. So I'm actually let me stash this off. Because I think our previous commit broke it. We'll just run this one test. Yeah, okay. Let's look at that last commit. So something bad happened here. It doesn't look like it. All right, we're gonna go backwards, and
Run the
and
test.
just see where things broke. Okay, so it wasn't there. Let's go back a few more. Whoops. Let's go back to the beginning.
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Let's go to the first one.
Yeah, actually, so like at this point, I'm gonna switch back to here and run the whole suite under this. Yeah, okay. So this commit broke.
Different error.
All right, this is fun. We're gonna now actually let's go back to here. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, so even at the point of just adding Flipper to the gem file broke anything? Okay, we'll do one more because maybe something else worse is happening. So we're here. We're essentially at the state of main.
Okay, so adding Flipper.
Adding Flipper broke things. That is really interesting. And so I swear, audience, we didn't plan this. There's an example of why I wouldn't merge straight to main.
Oh, of course, you will need a CI, right?
Yeah, but I mean, if you just merge straight to main, like there's no CI to run. Like CI might run maybe after the fact and be like, hey, main is broken. But in the meanwhile, maybe people are building things, and then they're trying to like, they're running their suite and they're like, oh no, like what did I break? Not realizing, and maybe they have to spend like they suspect where the break happened and they're digging and digging, and then it's like, oh no, just main is broken. I've been in that position. Is the most frustrating thing when you're like,
Yeah.
I thought I did a thing, but somebody else broke it, and
you don't realize it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so cool. Let's go back to this PR and see. All right, so what I'm going to do is we're going to create a new branch from add Flipper, add Flipper debug, and then we're going to just drop all the extra stuff. So sorry, switch to it. We'll check out here one more time. Verify that we're clean. We are. And now with that, all kinds of broken things. And missing messages, missing partial messages. This is so interesting. Like it feels like it broke something fundamental, and all we did was add the two things. Okay, so first debugging step, let's get rid of the active record, the adapter, and verify and see if that, like, try to narrow that down. And all right, so we'll do two things. So we'll get rid of the active record adapter. And all right. Okay.
Yep.
So we found a culprit here. All right, so now if we revert that commit, now we should be in error land. All right, all kinds of things. I will note, like, we still have, like, we're still on a database that has all that. Like, if we do our features, oh, it doesn't, like, oh, right, we don't have the IRBRC. But like, if we look at Flipper, If we run that command again, right? Like our stuff is there. Flipper is working. Interesting though, it's working without. I wonder why. Why did it break so many things? All right, let's look at the adapter. And while we're looking at it, it looks like
And by the way, we got a comment that we should get back into about the IRBC file. It seems like maybe you haven't saved it. That's why we got the feature is not defined.
Oh yeah. No, on this branch, I like deleted everything except for that step.
No, yeah, it's unrelated. It's just something we should get back into later.
Oh yes, of course. So any idea what's going on? So let's have it start researching it and running tests. And we'll just leave that as a little side window.
Yeah.
So that we can see it while meanwhile we are looking here. I mean, supported adapters, like let's follow the, let's double check our install instructions. Like maybe we forgot something. So
oh yeah, I'm looking at the docs here on another page. Can I pass a link to you?
Yeah, go for it.
Here you go. Direct active record, and we have if you go a little bit below that one, I think we haven't run it. Did we?
This is a good point. All right. It is still looking. I'm gonna pause it for a second. No, that was the thing that created the. Is that the same as? Let's double check. So
no, I think it's got two different tables.
All right. So the one it created here was Flipper features and Flipper gates.
Okay.
And in this one, yeah, we ran Flipper setup, and that created, features and gates. Okay, so we did.
Okay.
Which I got excited. All right, I'm gonna tell it to keep going. Oh, this is what we didn't do, maybe. Oh, this is, never mind. I'm sorry. It says if you need to customize it. It uses an abstract base model. You can also look at the Flipper RB. I mean, so on this branch, we don't have the table. So let me, sure. Like it's kind of, it's not about, I don't know, Ruby LLMs. I'm going to run it again and give it like a more specific. Oh, so we don't have the, when we added Flipper, like we ran the migrate. The Flipper setup also added the initializer, but like the initializer is functionally empty. Like it really doesn't do anything. So I don't think any of this is necessary. And so like the absence of, right, we're not using other adapters. I feel like it's okay without this initializer. And like technically we've done the migrate on this branch. But also like it was failing even with all this stuff. So let me find a test that is not related. Let's just run the test again. I want to find one that doesn't involve the acts as. Oh, fine. Sorry, now I do have to remove this one. And for now, we can just, I don't know, re-add. Sure. Like it's still there. Okay, so one more time now. Let's run the tests. I want to get one that doesn't involve chat response job is interesting because that one shouldn't involve. And let's see, how does this one fail? Cool. Look at this one. It's failing with a missing view issue. While it's doing that, I want to scan through and see were there any other interesting failures, missing partial. Actually, let's just. That's all the summaries. Oh, I thought there was a view. Ruby, LLM. Oh, maybe it is. I don't know. Maybe it is conflicting. So then these are access model, unknown attribute model for chat. Attribute model, broadcast. This is missing template, missing template, missing template. Sure. I guess at this point, I almost feel like I have to let it dive wherever it wants to dive because it's like.
Yeah.
I don't see any other different kinds of errors. Oh, this is okay. So this one, this might be even a simpler one, although it's still like it involves chat. But okay, we'll come back to that one.
Can we take a look at the gemfile.lock changes that active record, Flipper active record adds, so we can just take a look at the dependencies?
Yeah, sure. So
the other one.
Here, I guess we're so when we add it,
concurrent Ruby. Oh, active record. Okay.
And then that part, and then the SHAs, and like that's.
Yeah, that's it. All right.
I mean, this is like both expect this, but also maybe it's breaking something. I wonder though if there's some weird collision with Flipper. Like, let's see, what is it doing? It is. Oh, it is grepping. Okay. You hold there. Sorry, with this, like, I mean, kind of in like a super zoomed in view. Okay, chat spec 61. So, all right, so it is this one. If we run just that, it's still though going through the acts as. Also. Or we can also, we can look at the. This is not where I thought we'd be going today.
No, not at all.
Also interesting though, because I imagine like if this is truly an issue, like understanding, like I imagine people use LLMs, use Ruby LLM, and use Active Record and use Flipper. We can also just let's take a quick look at their issues.
Yep.
So let's jump back to here. Where is their? Interesting.
Nothing stands out.
You're looking at the issues too?
Yeah.
Did it kind of stopped? I'm just gonna give it the same message. Sorry, I wanted. Oh, it sort of lost the. Where was the last message? Okay. Oh, this is even. Okay. It did not tell me. Like I want to understand where its thought process is. It is really struggling. There we go. Okay, what I want to check, where Ruby LLM 115 decides between Access Legacy and the modern Access modules, your message ancestors showed message legacy method plus Access Legacy, but not the modern message methods, which is what provides the role aware to partial path. The chat spec is the same. The modern assignment isn't running, only the legacy. I see. Okay. Cool. All right. That helps. One thing I do want to check. So actually, a fun thing we could do. Let's verify that this did or didn't happen in 115, because if so, I was going to look at. I feel like I remember us when Chad and I were working on this PR where we updated Ruby to LLM 115. That was like something we decided, like we said we didn't need to. So if we're here, let's just do a quick check, and I'm going to, we'll just run the tests in this view or in this mode, and we should be green. And if we look at our gem file, right? So this is on 114. Cool. So from here, if we go into our gem file and add Flipper, what happens? And here's another fun thing. Let's cherry pick it. We won't directly commit. Restash the changes. Cool. Okay, so now here in the gem file, I want that. And we'll discard gem file lock here and rerun bundle. And let's see. All right, so if we run bundle here, we've got Flipper and Flipper active record. And then if we run our tests, if they pass, they do not. Okay. Cool. So we at least ruled out that it was not. So just to review like where we are. We have Flipper and Flipper active record, and we are on Ruby LLM 114. So it wasn't the 115 update that broke it. So that's good. I'm going to discard this and go back to our debug branch. Does that sound good?
Yeah, see that.
Okay. Let's confirm that we are still in a broken state. And we'll tell it to keep going. But let's also maybe look at acts as legacy. And actually, I'm going to allow it to grep RN for acts as legacy as much as it wants to. Okay, found it. Okay, great. Now let's look at our config. So this is the this is what I was remembering, was that we did this at some point, although this says, yeah. Okay, never mind. That's older than that even. I think I'm confused. The root cause. Okay, let's go. What do we got? What do we have, Claude? Ruby's new. Use new access defaults to false in 115. Okay. The Ruby rail tie does that. It includes access legacy. Your initial, oh, wait, hang on. Your initializer sets it as true, but initializers run after rail tie initialization. Normally that's fine because AR isn't loaded until app code runs, but Flipper active record loads it early, which fires the onload callback before your initializer flips the flag, so the legacy gets wired up. Okay, cool.
Set the flag before initializers run.
And then, cool. So in application RB, all right, let's see what it does now. Hopefully that passes. Okay. And now if we run the suite, which it is doing, we will let it run. And while it's doing that, this was, I think, just giving it the adds as that. That's fine. So now this is add or configure Ruby LLM. Now I know we're still on our debug branch. I just want to keep it here. We might probably just cherry pick from this. Enable Ruby LLMs, use new access at, I don't know, at load time. Yeah, so I kind of want to capture some of this, but we'll edit it down. So this says it's in 115. I don't think it's, like we just proved, like it happened also in 114. So we can just say defaults to false for now. The rail tie does support it. And then the initializer sets it, but initializers run after real-time initialization. Flipper active record tries the loader. Okay. And I don't think we need that extra part. All right, at minimum, we might rewrite that part later, but that was exciting.
Have we seen the test? Oh, nice.
It said it did, but we haven't. So I want to see it. And let me also just quickly run the system tests. Sorry, run the system tests. Also, I think we're at time. we are approaching our 90-minute mark here. So what I think maybe to loop things around, let's grab this change over. We'll figure out we'll work out the commits a little bit later. So I'm going to cherry pick. So first of all, run add flipper, everything should fail. It does. If we come over here and cherry pick this commit, and now we'll direct commit. So now our test should be green. I want to do like one last thing in our controller test once we have this. So this is good. So now in our add sprint agent, we are going to cherry pick the same thing. And then this and this we're going to squash together. And we're going to redelete the comments. So functionally, once the other one once add flipper merges, add sprint agent will also then have that change too. And now on this branch, we should have some version of green tests. I don't remember where we left our tests, where we dropped off our test suite. Okay, sweet. So it was just the is just that one. And if we look at Discovery Sprints controller, I think we're not returning anything. So that makes sense. So these were our tests, jumping back quite a bit, where we were checking that it lists everything. So we'll come back to that. But what I wanted to do before we end is, so let's just tell it back on the Discovery Sprint branch. With the load fix, let's add a flipper test to, let's address that to do, because I kind of wanted to show that, like, what it looks like to do testing with flipper. So let's go to our projects. And so this is, so testing our root route is, here's what I want to show. Let's add a flipper. It's a failing test now. A failing flipper test to that on projects controller that it, oh, actually, let's describe get on sprints controller.
Discovery sprints.
Yeah. Let's, whoops. Okay. Let me try that again. Let me just say we give it on our when flag, I don't know what we call it. I don't know. Let's just call it Discovery Sprint for now.
Yeah.
Like Discovery Sprint is on / routes to our index. We're a few minutes over, but that's okay. I think this one is important to get in, and then we'll call it. All right, so looking at our spec, I think we'll probably end up moving it, but that is fine. Cool. All right, good. It did follow the pattern. It routes to Discovery Sprints controller index when the flag is on. So cool. This is what I wanted to show. Like, just like we did in the Rails console, you do the same thing here within your test. And then we create the user, we get the root path, we expect it to be that, and of course it fails. So if we look at that, and our failure is the body there without it, cool. So I don't know what this will be like. Configure root route based on Flipper, based on discovery sprint flag. So sweet. So what changes has it made within our routes? We probably have a new little block. Cool. So constraints required Flipper enabled. Otherwise route to projects index. So now, I don't know, does that seem okay? Does something about the syntax here feels a little weird to me?
Yeah, well, that's temporary, right?
What's that?
That's going to be temporary.
I mean, I think
that's conditional.
This part.
Yeah.
I think not temporary. Like I think what we don't want, like we do want. There's going to be a situation. Let me rephrase. If let's say locally you're working on ReadySetGo, you want to be able to turn that flag off. I'm sorry, if you're working on the Go part of ReadySetGo where we were with like you want to come to here and into the projects and into the into the apps. If you're working on this part of ReadySetGo, and so for the most part though, you will be working on like this is the next thing we're developing, but sometimes you're just going to want that off. So I think it isn't temporary, but were you having a different like vision there for that part?
No, makes sense. I thought it was more of while we are rolling out the feature,
I see.
Yeah, but I didn't realize that part of the requirements.
Gotcha.
Well, makes sense.
Yeah, so let's see. So I think we now should have a green test on that one. And we should also still have in our projects controller, this should be green. And this does come up to a question like, do you explicitly disable the feature flag here because you know it's controlled? Like it's not necessary, but I think it's helpful to at least see it. That's part of the condition, even though like this particular, like the default is otherwise. I don't know. What do you feel about that? Would you add a flipper disable? Okay. Typing is hard. Would you add that for the flag here, or would you just be like, demonstrate that if it doesn't exist, if the flag doesn't exist, it's gonna come through here?
Just the absence, right? I think, well, it doesn't hurt to be explicit, so we could add the disable. What do you think?
It's what does it say about that? Right, it just wants that. I think it's nice to call it out. Like I'm totally like split mind here. I could easily be led either way.
Yeah, me too.
Where, yeah. Like, and I certainly don't want to do it in every, like, right? Like, I guess the part is like, well, we show it here. Do we?
Yeah, because that's a focus task. I think so. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
I would say like, do we could put it here and it would at least demonstrate that the root route is that. I guess maybe that's fine, but like, I don't know. Imagine if we had more tests here. Do you explicitly call out the disable, or do you count on the enable?
No.
And then like,
yeah, I think only on one where like everything's very explicit, but on the others just like let it go.
Yeah, I'm feeling the same thing there. So I'm sorry. Let me make sure. Am I feeling the same thing? You're saying it's good to leave this here?
Yeah.
Okay. And then cool. So now we've demonstrated, and also I wanted to clean up this. I'm not sure if that's necessary, but anyway, we can do that off stream. The point is now we've demonstrated like here's using Flipper like to do something really high level, like you control the root route, and then using it in tests to demonstrate that. There are two more things I wanted to talk about Flipper. One is that you can enable Flipper like per user. So if we come back to their, this is like a really cool example. That you can enable the feature for everyone, or you can enable it for a certain user. So it could be that you can turn on a feature flag for like everyone, but maybe then like turn on a different one for you, or like turn on a different setting for you. You can also do it within a groups. And this is more like, let's say you have a beta group. Then like what happens is you create a group, you add people to the group, and then like only the beta group sees the new feature while it's off for everyone. And like what will happen there, one last little demo, if we look at, if we come back in here and we look at our features, right, and we see that hello is off and test is on. But if I did Flipper enable actor, is that the right syntax? Enable actor hello, and I do it for just like the first, let's say a user, cool. If we do Flipper enabled, actually first let's show features. So now we see it's not on or off, it's conditional. Because it's not an absolute anymore. So one, I wanted to show that's a cool thing that you can be like, oh, some people have that on, some people don't. Right, but if we do Flipper enabled on hello, we get it's false. But if we do hello, I think this is the right syntax.
Yeah, that's
it's
correct.
True. So
sorry,
really powerful stuff.
I'm sorry, we're out of time. I have to go. Are you okay to wrap it up?
We have to go too. So thank you everyone so much for watching. Thank you, Sarah, for joining today. And we're going to keep working on this, and we will see you next week on AI in Focus. Take care, everyone.
Thank you very much, everybody. Bye-bye.